A new open-world Spider-Man game with new mechanics and tree skills and swinging motions, and it took so much time to make. And what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the story.
I don't know. Feels like the end of the world. Maybe it is.
Peter Parker, how the hell are you?
The city is in danger. It needs our help.
What is going on, guys? My name is Rodney, and if you already knew that, thank you so much for coming back. Today we are going to be talking about something a little different. We're going to be talking about the story for the brand new Sony, Marvel, whatever you want to call it, Spider-Man game for the PlayStation 4. And the title is not deceiving you. The suit looks like butt. However, the story is incredible. First of all, the voice acting is really top-notch. They have recorded all of the Spider-Man lines two different ways. If you're swinging around the city, he says things while breathing heavily and while gasping. If you're just walking around, he says it normally. It is really, really amazing that they decided... amazing. The developers of this game definitely wanted to make a Spider-Man story. They decided, let's put it in a video game, because you could take certain liberties when it comes to video games. You don't need to explain every single thing that's happening. You jump into this Spider-Man, and he's already been Spider-Man for 8 years, and you know that and you understand that. The story is emotional, it's clever, it's action-packed. There's some things in this see, I almost called it a movie. There are some things in this game that I wish were converted into a movie. I'm going to get into spoilers now because I don't want, to give things away. I'm going to tell you that. So leave, play the game, watch it online, come back, and then we'll have a little discussion. Everything with Miles Morales is amazing. The way that it happens, first of all, I thought for a second the spider was going to bite Mary Jane, and when it rolled off of him, rolled off of her, and crawled onto Miles Morales, that was awesome, and he got bit, and you were like, yeah, let's go, Miles Morales. This game also definitely set up a sequel. You don't get to play with Miles. The Avengers are somewhere out there. You don't know where the story is going with Harry Osborn. That reveal was incredible of how he's going to become Venom, or maybe he is the conductor that gives Eddie Brock the symbiote, because Eddie Brock is in this. There's a couple little Easter eggs. And the Doc Ock storyline was also really, really good, maybe even better than the movie, which is incredible. Now, granted, the movie only had 2 hours and 15 minutes to tell you, the setup of Doc Ock, but in this, they were friends. Peter's mentor was Otto Octavius, and it's that much more heartbreaking when they have the final battle, and it's not like the movie where Doc Ock realizes he's wrong. He's all in with his plan on this one, and when he's screaming, Peter, come back, and he's like, hurts like hell and walks away, that's rough. Mary Jane is also a more fleshed out character when it comes to the video game instead of the movie. I've always had a problem with Peter looking, handsome, because he's supposed to be a nerd, and that's why Andrew Garfield was a terrible choice for Peter Parker, not Spider-Man. He's a really good Spider-Man, but not a great Peter Parker. However, the way that the character of Peter Parker looked in the game is okay because it's 8 years later. You ever see someone in high school and you're like, and then 8 years later you're like, how did that happen? That's basically what I chalk it up to in this. The reveal of the Sinister Six was kind of let down for me, just because if you watch any of the trailers, you see that he's fighting every single villain, and they don't necessarily call it the Sinister Six, but you get an achievement, the Six Assemble, or something like that, and that's really, really awesome. Norman Osborn was also a character that I didn't think should have a lot to do, although they have convinced me that I'm wrong on that, because he's a really fleshed out character in this as well. You kind of feel bad for him toward the end. When you see Harry in the after credits scene, it's really heartbreaking and emotional, and this game is insane. Now, the couple negatives are, characters. Fisk is, just they're thrown in there. There's not a lot of development going on with the side characters, which is totally fine. It's a video game after all. But this story did some things, Peter Parker-wise, Spider-Man-wise, Aunt May-wise, that I've never been done in movies, that made me a little misty-eyed. When Aunt May says, when she's dying from the devil's breath, and she says, take that mask off and let me see the face of my nephew, forget it. I was gone. That was one of the most incredible pieces of writing I've ever seen on screen in general. Of course Aunt May knows. Of course she knows. this game is special at the end of the day. There's not a lot to say other than definitely buy it, or if you can't afford it, watch it online. You know, watch tutorials and watch the cutscenes. The cutscenes are awesome. They look incredible. The action is all there. The story is all there. I'm going to give Spider-Man, PS4, Marvels, whatever, a 9 out of 10. It is really, really fun to watch, and it's some of the best Spider-Man I've ever seen. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This is what I do. I talk about, well, I guess I talk about games now. I talk about the stories of games, movies mostly, movie news, trailer reactions, commentaries. If you like what you see here, please be sure to subscribe because it is free after all.